Hey folks, imagine you're scrolling through laptops, wondering if the next thing you spend your cash on will actually let you game on the go without turning your backpack into a brick. I get that hesitation, especially when you've probably seen a million gaming laptops for under $1,000 ads that sound too good to be true. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through the msi GF63 Thin 11UC together, see who it really serves, and whether it's worth the price tag before you click add to cart. First off, the GF63 isn't trying to be a beast of a workstation. It's a 15.6-inch laptop that packs an Intel Core i5-11400H and an RTX 3050. That combo lands you right in the sweet spot for 1080p gaming at medium to high settings on most modern titles. If you've been playing Fortnite or Valorant on a phone or a cheap laptop, you'll notice a dramatic jump in frame stability, especially thanks to the 144Hz panel. The screen is an eyepiece-level display, so colors stay consistent when you tilt the lid, and the 1080p resolution means you won't be fighting with pixelated textures that you normally see on older budget machines. Now, who should actually consider this machine? If you're a student or a young professional who wants a portable workstation that can also handle a decent gaming session after class, the GF63 checks a lot of boxes. The 32GB of DDR4 RAM is unusually generous for a laptop at this price point, and the 1TB NVMe SSD gives you room for a growing library of games, school projects, and media files without constantly worrying about space. The Wi-Fi 6 support also means you'll get a smoother online experience in dorms or coffee shops where the network can be a bit spotty. On the flip side, if you're a hardcore esports competitor who demands the highest possible frame rates, or you need a laptop that can run the latest AAA titles at 4K with ultra settings, you'll probably feel cramped. The RTX 3050, while solid for 1080p, tops out around 6-8 teraflops, far behind the RTX 3060 or higher models. That means you'll see a dip in performance once you push textures past the high setting or try to enable ray tracing. Also, the laptop's thin chassis means the cooling system is less aggressive than a bulkier gaming beast. In extended play sessions, say, a 6-hour Elden Ring marathon, you might notice the fans kicking in more loudly and the CPU throttling slightly once the heat builds up. It's not a deal breaker for most, but it's a trade-off you should be aware of. Let's talk about daily usability. The backlit keyboard is a nice touch if you game in low-light rooms, and the key travel feels decent for a thin laptop, nothing like a mechanical board, but it's comfortable enough for typing essays or code. The webcam is a standard 720p unit, which is fine for Zoom classes or quick video calls, but don't expect studio-grade video. Connectivity is pretty robust, 3 USB-A 3.2 ports, a USB-C 3.2 Gen 1, HDMI, and an RJ45 Ethernet jack. That Ethernet port is a hidden gem, many thin gaming laptops skip it, but it lets you plug into a wired network for that low-latency edge in competitive matches. Battery life is where the GF63 gets honest. With a 46Wh cell, you're looking at roughly 4 to 5 hours of mixed usage, some browsing, a bit of video editing, and a light gaming session. If you're planning to game on a plane or on a long commute, you'll need to bring the charger. It's not a laptop you'll leave on a CAF table for an entire workday without plugging in, but the 15-inch size keeps it portable enough to slip into most backpacks. One practical strength that often gets glossed over is the storage speed. The 1TB SSD is a PCIe 3.0 drive, and real-world benchmarks show load times for games like Cyberpunk 2077 dropping from around 45 seconds on a hard drive to under 15 seconds on this machine. That translates into less waiting and more playing, especially when you're swapping between titles on the fly. Combined with the 32GB RAM, you'll rarely see stutter caused by memory bottlenecks, even when you have dozens of browser tabs open while the game runs in the background. A weakness that matters for a specific audience is the lack of a Thunderbolt 4 port. The USB-C on this model is limited to USB 3.2 Gen 1 speeds, which means you can't daisy-chain an external GPU or connect a high-speed 4K monitor with a single cable. If you plan to hook this laptop up to a desktop-class monitor for a stationary setup, you'll need a separate HDMI or DisplayPort connection, and you won't get the same level of bandwidth you'd have with a Thunderbolt-enabled machine. For most gamers, HDMI 2.0 will still deliver a smooth 1080p experience at 144Hz, but it's a limitation to note if you're dreaming of a future-proof dock. Another point worth mentioning is the weight. At around 1.86 kilograms, 4.1 pounds, the GF63 is lighter than many traditional